Hello everybody, my name is Mr. Hat, and today we're going over Leprechaun in the Hood, which came out in the year 2000, 4 years after Leprechaun 4, and is the worst piece of shit I've ever had the misfortune of watching. I guess the last Leprechaun movie wasn't bad enough, so Trimark decided to take some laxatives and gave us this pile of shit. There's honestly not much to say about this movie project from hell, so let's just get this shit over with in this week's Horror Franchise Wednesday.
Leprechaun in the Hood.
Now, before we go into my negatives and two pros, whatever, let's go over the plot, if you can call it that. We start with two gangsters in LA, one being Ice-T, looking for gold and accidentally set the leprechaun free. He kills his friend with a comb, now Ice-T is all alone. But luckily the medallion sets the leprechaun back to stone. It's years later now and Ice-T is very rich. We meet our three main characters who give them their pitch. They're wannabe rappers but with a more family-friendly tone. Ice-T tells them to fuck off so they break into his home. They steal his gold and a magical flute, then shoot Ice-T and let the leprechaun loose. Postmaster P and his friends pawn the gold for equipment, and Post learns that the flute brainwashes while playing with it. The leprechaun keeps letting Ice-T live, I have no idea why. It's not like he helps him, and at the end he just dies. But anyways, the rappers start gaining fame thanks to their flute, and the leprechaun wants it back, along with the rest of his loot. Which I guess he already took earlier, but I never saw him get it, but he just stops asking about it, so whatever. And randomly, for some reason, the rappers go to a trainee's house. Seriously, what the fuck is this movie even about? After dozens of minutes of boringness, they go to a church where they try to escape, but the leprechaun shows up and they lock him in a safe. So he summons his hooker zombies to come get him out. Seriously, what the fuck is this movie about? Let's speed this up. Okay, so the leprechaun kills the one dude, and I don't even care. And the other two put on makeup and dresses and a wig of blonde hair. They're on a mission to get their magical flute back, because vengeance isn't on their mind at all, just being famous at rap. They slow the leprechaun down with weed mixed with a clover, but before they can leave, they bump into Ice-T, who tells Post to hand the flute over. Post shoots him 3 times and Ice hits the ground. That's when the leprechaun decides to come around. He pushes Post up against the wall, then Ice pops back up just for one more fall. Auf Wiedersehen. The medallion flies up into the air and you think it landed on him. You're wrong. The leprechaun turns Post into a zombie and then raps a god-awful song. Alright, what did I like? Little things that I like about this movie. Warwick Davis, I guess. I mean, he was a downgrade in part 4. He's still a downgrade here. His makeup and the whole being in stone and the medallion thing, it all reminded me of part 3, my favorite sequel, so I guess there's that. He just has longer hair for some reason. They made his hair really orange and really long. He still rhymes, so I'll give you that. The cone death was hilarious. I mean, somehow he just slit the guy's throat wide open just by stabbing him with it, I guess. It's funny, I guess. This is the first time someone actually successfully steals the gold and gets rich off of it. So, I noticed that. I wrote that down. Ice-T, he keeps pulling weapons out of his afro. He has like a knife, a gun, and he pulls like a baseball bat out. Thought that was funny. This movie's got this weird-ass tone where it's just fucking corny and like airplanes like, and then it's serious and stupid. I like that the main guy wants to be a more, family friendly rapper. He doesn't want to be all these other 90s rappers talking about hitting bitches and drinking 40s. He's trying to send a positive message, so I like that. This movie tries to introduce a couple of things. One of them I thought was kind of neat. I wish they would have used it in a better movie. But the hypnosis flute, I thought that was kind of cool. It's like this movie's version of the Make-A-Wish thing in part 3. You can just blow this fucking flute and it just does stuff. There's no rules established for it, how to use it. It just kind of comes in the movie and goes, and they just use it to make people like them and their rapping. It's stupid. Once again, the leprechaun uses women as hallucination tricks on people. I'm noticing a trend here. We have some good special effects in this movie in a couple of spots. The leprechaun gets blown up at one point, and then we get to see a guy's chest like blow open, and you see like the inside of his chest. Ice-T's looking through it. The preacher gets stabbed through the chest like an alien. And the preacher, by the way, just cusses and says "goddamn" and all kinds of shit. Thought that was funny. He keeps a gun underneath his altar. because this is a church in the ghetto. And I like that the 4-leaf clover is once again the weakness, so at least that's the little bit of continuity to the first one. Now before we go into my negatives, let's go over a couple of my awards. The Clapper Award for Best Scene is gonna go to the grandma feeding scene. The blind grandma who's blind for no fucking reason. It serves no purpose in this movie other than to give us this scene where she's feeding the leprechaun like he's a little 2-year-old and she stabs his eye out. And the Hottest Chick Award is gonna go to the zombie strippers. That's what the leprechaun calls them. He calls them zombies. They don't look like zombies. They just have green glowing eyes. And it's not really green eyes. They didn't have green contacts. They just used optical effects because this movie's stupid. Now, let's go over my cons. This movie opens up with the opening shots of the first Leprechaun movie, like it's about to establish continuity for the first time. Like, oh, they're about to do it. It's gonna have continuity. No, it's not. It's a complete fucking steal. Like Jaws the Revenge, stealing the last shot of Jaws 1. They just steal the first 20 seconds of the first movie. For what fucking purpose? None. No continuity once again. It's just the 70s. I'm judging by their afros that's the 70s, because that wasn't really a thing in the 80s, I don't think. So it's like the 70s. It's in LA, just like part 2. And now we got this fucking leprechaun covered in stone. Once again, like the beginning of part 3. Got the medallion. It doesn't look the same, but it's the medallion. So we got that being stolen. So they're stealing that idea, but they're not going off of that movie. So you're stealing an idea, but you're not trying to connect your film to that one. You're just flat out stealing their shit. Stealing ideas left and right. They even steal a scene from part 2 where they lock this leprechaun in the safe. He's on the other side. They're like, he's going to come through the door. We're going to put him in the safe. But not because the safe and the iron safe is his weakness, but just because they want to put him in the safe. Even though the leprechaun fucking flat out teleports in this movie. At least twice. But then there's all these other situations where you're like, why isn't he teleporting? He could just get the fuck out. Can he not? They even give him like all these abilities of like telekinetic powers at the beginning. He's like moving people. And I guess the audience they think is so stupid that they need like audio cues to like know like, oh, he's using telekinesis. And thank you, sound. Whew, whew. I don't need it. Okay? Yeah, I know. He's moving his hand. Now he's moving. Telekinetic powers. But they gotta give you these stupid fucking noises to like let you know in case you're blind or something. Before I go any further, do not buy this fucking DVD. It is smaller within, like, it's smaller on the TV than the other movies. It is like in the big old black box around the movie. This does not fill up your TV. It is like less than full screen. It's not even widescreen. It's shit screen. If you're going to invest any money in this movie, just get a Blu-ray so you can at least suffer a little less. But suffer more because you spent more. And why the fuck is the leprechaun just underneath the subway or underground in LA? And there's just gold there? No one's found it? Really? Fuck off. The acting in this movie is like trying to compete with part 2 to take the shit trophy home of worst acting ever. But I guess you would expect that from this, so can I harp on it? No, but I'm going to. I like that they go to the pawn shop and they lie about this guitar being signed by Jimi Hendrix himself in 1971. And when they get told, like, hey, Jimi Hendrix died in 1970, you're lying. What do? They go to a second pawn shop and they sell the same bullshit story about 1971. Did you not learn your lesson from the first guy? I could have shot this movie better, and I haven't gone to film school one day. But what the fuck is up with all these long shots? Seriously, and they last forever. And then they're like the crossfade shots. They're so fucking long. The editor just did like these crossfades because it took so long. There's no character arcs whatsoever in this movie. These 3 rappers, there's no chemistry to them whatsoever. And I hate the way they talk. It's fucking annoying. They're like Bridget. Fuck you, Bridget. Postmaster P, he just goes from like, I'm, family friendly. I don't want to go steal Ice-T shit. And then the next scene, he's like, alright, I'm on board. Let's go. I like how the leprechaun who's been frozen for decades, when he wakes up, he immediately makes a Tiger Woods reference as if he knows who the fuck Tiger Woods is. You can't know that. You've been frozen. There's a scene where they're shooting at the leprechaun, all 3 of them, and there's like close-ups of their guns, and they're clearly running out of ammo because it's like going back like a gun does when it's completely empty. It looks different. You don't have to be that much of a gun expert to know when a gun is empty visually. And his gun runs out like 3 times as he's shooting at him. It keeps cutting back and forth. And each time it cuts back to his gun, he has like a new clip in there. Bullshit. He didn't bring any extra ammo. And like I said before, he teleports. He teleports to the bathroom to get iced tea. And he teleports in the church upstairs. So why isn't he teleporting in any other situation where it's actually needed? You gotta get a zombie hooker to come get you? And why the fuck are you doing this to zombie hookers? What, your new plan is to fucking hypnotize the whole world? What is your plan? You just want your flute back? What's the point of these zombie strippers? Like, he even at one point is just like recruiting more. For what purpose? The Leprechaun electrocutes this guy, and there's like these green optical effects, like just like from the first movie, except way worse. And then all of a sudden it just randomly goes in his eyes. The green, like, electricity goes in the guy's eyes. Is that him turning into a zombie? We don't see him again later, so I guess not. But how is he being electrocuted? Is it just magical powers, I guess? Sure, let's just write it off that way. Because that was just a microphone stand. It wasn't connected to the wall. This movie has quite a few off-camera deaths. Really? A strangulation off-camera. What the fuck? Who the hell has a death in a movie where the person strangled off camera? You're too stupid and lousy as a director, and your choreographer fucking sucks balls that you can't even, like, have the skill and power to just show a strangulation on camera. You gotta put this fake-ass hand, not even on the throat, just on the side, like that's hurting him. Get the fuck out of here. We get a random tranny just thrown into the movie. Did that serve a purpose? Nope, it's just extra laughs because trannies are funny, I guess. Not to me, it's just weird. The Leprechaun just keeps showing up to all these places where the other guys were, and it's not like he has like that flute scent, you know, like he always smelled his gold before in the other movies, but in this one he's not like, I smell my gold or I smell my flute, but he just keeps going from place to place, somehow following these people as if he's teleporting, but he just can't catch up to them? How does he know about Mr. Chow, the pawn shop owner? How did he get there? How did Ice-T? Same thing. He just knows where these rappers are all the time too. He goes to the church. How does he know they're at the church? Answer this question, goddammit. And then the stupidest character of the 3 is somehow MacGyver now. He just builds his fucking like trap where he just like takes Elmer's glue and toothpaste and puts it on a rag and then plugs it into the wall, and somehow flicking a light switch is gonna make that fucking spark and make a fire, which actually works and gets the Leprechaun on fire. And then we got this fucking fire double who's 2 feet taller than Warwick Davis. Really? If you can't get a fire double the same size, don't use one. And the church they go to doesn't even look like a church. It looks like it was an office and they just remodeled it to look like a church for this stupid scene. They just took like folding chairs and put them in, and it's like, it does not look like a church. The flute just somehow, you know, it magically makes people love their shit. There's no rules established for this flute, so it's like, what's the proximity? These people just come in from fucking nowhere? Really? And now they got beats playing in the background. Who made the beats? It's just all magic. It doesn't help their rhyming. They keep rhyming the word way with way. That's not rhyming, you dipshit. There's a Scooby-Doo moment in this movie, really. Like, they all sit down, they're sort of fist bumping each other, and then like the last guy in the end turns to his side and fist bumps the Leprechaun, and they have that moment where they kind of just look at each other for a couple of seconds and then scream because he's right there. Scooby-Doo moment? Really? Fucking ridiculous. And like I said, it's like, all these abilities they give him, it's like, he's brainwashing hookers and stuff. How? Don't know. But why not just brainwash these people who have your flute? You didn't say the flute prevents that. There's no rules established, so why can't you just brainwash Postmaster P and get your flute back? I like how when the Leprechaun has this guy's friend, Postmaster P's friend, like, shoot himself, the gun's clearly at an angle where it wouldn't even fucking kill him, really. Like, he has the gun under his chin. But it's not like this or anything. It's like fucking pointing outward. Like, it would just blow his jaw off. It's not fatal. And then after he dies, it like hard cuts to them putting his body in the passenger seat. Like, that's his burial? Really? There's like, alright, we're gonna leave you here in the passenger seat. They just dragged his body out of there. They put him in the car seat, drove to the middle of butt fucking nowhere, and then decided to make a plan to go to get the flute back. They're not out to get vengeance for their dead friend, quote, friend. They're out just to get that flute back because they're still having their eyes on the prize, you know, gotta get that fame and money. That's how much they really care about their friend. And I don't know their friend's name because these characters aren't memorable. They're shitheads. But after he kills that, when he makes that guy blow his own head off, supposedly, you know, bullet, boom, he just leaves the other two there? Like, you just got your flute back. You have your gold back, supposedly. I never saw you get your gold back that they pawned off, but I guess you did at some point. We don't know, but I'm guessing you did, because you're not asking for it no more. You got all the things you want. Why aren't you killing these two people? You just killed one, you're going to leave the other two go, and you keep letting Ice-T go. Why the fuck? You know, you're like, oh, help me get this flute back, Ice-T. How's he going to help you? Really, he's not going to help you. He's helping himself. And as if this movie couldn't piss me off more, it does something else to fucking piss me off. It has a dream within a dream. Really? What the fuck for? No reason at all. Was it for laughs? It wasn't funny. Is it for tension? It's not tense. So, what's it for? Story-wise? Fuck no. This movie has no story. He has a dream about, what? The leprechaun feeding his grandma? Or, no, the grandma feeding the leprechaun, wakes up, and then has a dream about his just recently deceased friend knocking at the door saying, hey, let's go to Vegas. And then he wakes up again. What the fuck? Just wasting time. That's all it is. Then somehow the friend just knows that there's all these zombie strippers going to be recruited, or just strippers to be recruited for the leprechaun. They want to work for him. I don't know. Who's bringing these people there? It's whatever. But he just knows about that, so they come up with this plan to dress and drag and go there. And, you know, they read a Leprechaun for Dummies book. That's how they find out about the 4-leaf clover weakness. So they put it in weed, and they're going to give it to the leprechaun. But this is just another excuse for them to be in drag and get more trannies in this movie. You know, I'm starting to notice a trend with black actors in Hollywood, or just Hollywood in general. Why is it that there's always black actors in drag? You got Big Mama as Martin Lawrence. You got Tyler Perry and all that Medea shit. You got white chicks with the Wayne brothers. What is this trend? I like how when Ice-T shoots the guy's Postmaster P's friend, the shot, once again, lingers for a good 30 seconds on the dead friend. So long that we get to see his chest breathing, even though he's supposedly dead, and his eyes flickering and twitching. Why is it lingering so long? And then even though Ice-T just killed his friend, he's immediately like trying to make a bargain or deal with him and asking him to help him out. It's like, really? That's how you deal? Like, I'm gonna kill your friend and now you're gonna help me out? You're stupid. And then the leprechaun does that same trick from earlier and blows a hole in Ice-T's chest, making me ask the question, why isn't he doing this more often? Then the movie deceives you and makes you think that the medallion just went up and then landed on the leprechaun. Yay, he's gone. Postmaster P has the flute and he's gonna be a famous rapper. But nope. Postmaster P is now a brainwashed zombie, because finally the leprechaun was like, maybe I should apply this fucking trick on you now. Finally! So what, he's just taking over the whole world? Because that's basically the end of the movie. He's just turning everybody into zombies with green eyes, and then starts rapping a song, and he don't know how to rap at all. He fucking sucks. The soundtrack throughout most of this movie is just 90s rap, and that's the worst fucking genre/decade of music ever. Really, I just fucking hate that genre of music. It's all so painful to listen to. The songs have no message. It's usually just one random rhyme after another one. They just like throw words together and make up words. You know, it's like, yo, I walk in, lock the doors, sporting a G-Shock watch, Nike still Crocs of course, Reebok shorts with a ball cap and a toxic force. Admitted from under this hoodie, I'll stock your doors, mop the floors, which you get to wear a lawsuit and mark the courts. It's stupid. That right there was better than any rhyme you heard in this fucking film. It sucked. This movie was actually quite painful to watch. Like, literally. When I was watching this movie, I wanted to grab my Colt and blow my brains out. So therefore, when it comes to Leprechaun in the Hood, there is one thing I'd rather do, and that is to blow my fucking brains out. The Mr. Henry Award for Best Kill is gonna go to the Ice-T's bodyguard, who gets his chest blown wide open, and then Ice-T gets the same fate later, but I like seeing Ice-T through the hole. It's probably the best shot in the whole movie. And that's saying something. And the Mr. Twig Award's gonna go to Mr. Chow, who gets strangled with one hand on the side of his throat in a very close-up shot, hiding the fact that this guy can't choreograph his strangulation. And those are my thoughts on Leprechaun Hood. Have you had the misfortune like me of watching this film? Let me know how painful it was in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video at all, you can support this video just by hitting this like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you can do so just by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds to see more. And until next time, Auf Wiedersehen.